Let's make a Rockin' Reuben. Alright, so I was at Walmart the other day and walked by the deli and saw a sign that said Prima Deli corned beef, 50% off. It's like $5 a pound. I said, what? And the worker said, yep, but it's getting ready to go out of date. I said, no worries. I'm going to take it and make a Reuben today. So that's how we got started here. Now I'm going to start at my 400-degree Steelmade Griddle, put down about a tablespoon of butter, and I'm going to work it in here just a little bit. My corned beef's already cooked. So I'm only doing 400 degrees Fahrenheit because I'm just trying to heat it up for the sandwich. Now, so I did get my beef shaved, so it's going to be pretty thin. I don't want to dry it out and turn it into beef jerky. It's not my intentions here. I'm just wanting to heat it up, bring out a little flavor for my sandwich. So here you can see I'm just going to put it on here. And the Steelmade, if you're not familiar with it, got a bunch of videos on my channel, but it's actually on my stove in the kitchen. It's pretty awesome. Really cool product, but my heat works the direction of my burner, so you can see that's kind of why I'm going at a diagonal angle as I place the corned beef down here in the area that I buttered. So my beef's been on here for about a minute, so I'm just going to turn it and check it. You can see it's getting a little bit of a golden color to it. It's kind of what I'm wanting. I don't want it to go too far, but I'm going to keep working it for a few minutes and get it nice and warmed up. I'm going to go ahead and put another tablespoon of butter on here just to kind of help it out. Like I said, don't want to dry it out. This tablespoon of butter is for my kraut. I like to heat up my kraut for my Reuben. Brown it a little bit. Don't hate the player, hate the game. So this right here is nothing fancy. Just that bagged kraut they sell at a lot of stores. I think Silver Floss is the brand. It's only like a couple bucks, but I'm going to toss it in the butter, chop up any really big pieces I see in there, and then I'm going to press it thin with my spatula just to kind of let it golden up. I don't want it too far, but I do want to heat it up just a little and try to get a little bit of a color to it. If you aren't into heated up kraut, this will be a pretty good step to omit. So both my corned beef and my kraut are coming along nice in my opinion. They're getting close to where I want them. I'm going to move my kraut back here to the back just to kind of create some space up in the front because I'm going to be starting my bread to toast it here in a little bit. And just give my corned beef another toss. Alright, for the bread, I went with the rye pumpernickel. I thought, wait, does that kind of look like Cactus Jack? That's pretty cool. Anywho, I'm going to toast it on both sides here. And that's just how I like it, personal preference, and a little butter. And my outside part of the bread, I'm going to do a little bit less because as I let it melt down and finish up, that's going to get a little bit more toasted itself. Don't want it overdone, but I do like my Reuben nice and toasty. Don't forget to keep working your corned beef and kraut. I put a little extra butter in there just to kind of keep it a little nice and lubricated. But we're going to go on, and we're getting close to the finish line with this sandwich. So this right here is my homemade Thousand Island dressing. I'll put the link in the description. I think it's worth it, no more effort than it takes. Really elevates it from the bottled stuff. And I love Thousand Island dressing, so I'm going to put a ton of Thousand Island dressing on my bun. This is also while I toast the inside of the bun, because I know I'm going to be putting a lot on this, and I don't want the bread to absorb it and get all mushy and whatnot, so it gives a little bit more structural integrity to it. So there is a method to the griddler madness. I'm going to give the corned beef one last toss, that way it's nice and warm to help melt my cheese. Speaking of cheese, I went with an aged Swiss. I don't guess you really have to have an aged Swiss, but it was on sale, and it looked good, so I went with it. And right here, I got a pound of corned beef. Like I said, it was on sale. That just made it easier. And I'm going to be pretty generous with it. I'm the only person going to be eating this, so I have enough for a couple sandwiches. But I tend to go big or go home when it comes to... Well, that's kind of funny because I am cooking at home, literally in my home. But anyway, I get a little over the top with my cooking sometimes, so I'm going to stack it high. If you don't like this much corned beef on it, it's pretty simple. Just don't put as much corned beef on it. Toss the kraut back there. It's nice and warm. And that's going to help my top cheese melt. I'm going to put cheese on both. I like a lot of cheese, and I'm going to put a lot of Thousand Island on it, as you see on the bun. So I need a lot of stuff here to kind of help hold it together. But I think that's a good problem to have. So I'm just going to tuck it in with a couple more slices of that Swiss cheese. Aged Swiss cheese. Sounds fancy. That probably just means that it was like close to going out of date and they just slapped aged on it. But anywho, I'm going to flip it over on here. Got my Thousand Island. As you can see, it's kind of been toasting. Got a little bit of a nice golden color to it. And pretty much I'm going to let it melt down under this little dome here. And I don't want to leave it too long because I don't want my bread to get too much moisture in it and lose that crisp. Everything's hot, so it's not going to take long to melt that cheese and let them flavors come together. Sample my corned beef here, pretty darn good. But here, let's take a look after we melt it, and we'll go try it out. There you have it. I'm liking how it's looking. Like I said, a lot of Thousand Island, so it's kind of cascading over the sides, but let's get it to the taste test table and try it out. All right, we made it back to the taste test table. You can see here we got a nice, pretty traditional Reuben. So we're going to cut into it and try it out. So I got old Brady here. My old rickety taste test table. Just rocking back and forth. Okay. Let's see. I don't feel like I got it all the way. I didn't get up. There you go. So there it is. I think it looks pretty good, at least to me. Nice and melty cheese. Some kraut. Like I said, I like to kind of cook mine, brown it just a little bit. Not everybody's going to do that. Personal preference. But let's give it a try and see what we think. Good. I try not to choke on camera. It's one of my favorite sandwiches. Just bit the fart out of the inside of my cheek, but it's worth it. So, like I said, I made my own Thousand Island dressing. I think that makes a lot of difference. It's easy to do. I'll post a link in the description if you are interested in making that. I have a video where I made it. And other than that, I'm really proud how it turned out. I'm going to enjoy it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Appreciate you taking the time to check it out. I'd really appreciate it if you consider to like, comment, subscribe, share, and turn on post notifications so you know when new content is added to the channel. As always, I want to say thank you one more time for checking out the video. And I'm Garrett the Griddler saying until next time, let's keep cooking. Fun fact. Like a lot of food inventions, the origin of the Reuben is somewhat contested and debated, but it's widely believed that in its current form it was created in the 1920s at the Blackstone Hotel. Blackstone, that's pretty cool as a griddler, by Chef Bernard Schimmel for guest Reuben Kulafovsky, both of whom's names I probably butchered. But that's how it came to be. Or did it? What's your thoughts? Drop me a comment.